Jeff,
Yo, what's good, Tomorrow? How you doing?
good. How you? How's your day
Fantastic.
going?
Yo, welcome. Isaiah, Asia. Is that how you pronounce that? Or Asia? Welcome. Welcome. Latifa. Meeting some other people. Welcome, Kai. KO, I see you down there. What's up, brother? All right, cool. So, welcome. We're just gonna go ahead and get started. We got 6 people on at 8 o'clock, and I don't want to waste any time. So, I'm Jeffrey. I'm a Forex trader. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an artist. I'm a man of many hats. And right now, I'm going to be wearing the hat of a teacher. So I'm going to be teaching you how to trade Forex, give you a basic knowledge of how to look at a chart and basic tools that you can use to start your Forex trading journey. And I'm going to be doing this with my partner tomorrow. And I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hello. My name's Tamara. I'm 21 years old. I've been trading for over. I've been trading for with good results for over 2 years now. I got in a little mix of trading back in high school, but I didn't really take it serious. It was just like something that somebody just mentioned to me, but I just looked at it, let it go through one ear and out the other. But
You're muted.
can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I say about 2 years ago, I tapped in. I actually got serious with trading, and I took it to where I was learning by myself, and I got so comfortable with it and fell in love with the skill. I wanted to start sharing it with others. So then I got into epic trading, just so I can help myself spread this wonderful knowledge and the power of this skill. And I came along to Jeffrey, and ever since then, me and him just been kicking it off with these calls, sharing this great knowledge and the wonderful way that we trade. So it's good to have everybody on this call.
Oh, awesome. So I'm gonna share my screen with you all. Give me 1 second. And so this website, can everybody see my screen? Thumbs up or drop a one in the chat or let me know. Can everybody see my screen? Should say trading view. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So this website is free to use. But I do recommend that you get the pro version so you can access the replay tool and allow you to back test your strategy, whatever strategy that you may have. It'll allow you to back test it. Okay. And this is when you go to tradingview.com, you're going to want to click on chart. Okay. So actually, before we start, let me ask you all to go ahead and unmute yourselves, and you can go ahead and let me know where you are in your Forex journey.
Hi, it's
Hello.
Latifa.
Hey, Latifa. How you
I'm
doing
actually
this
at the
evening?
beginning. I'm doing well.
Good. Good.
This is Kai, and I'm just beginning.
Just beginning? Okay. So when you say just beginning, that means you've never made a trade. You haven't studied any terminology. You never really studied market structure or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Perfectly fine. Thank you.
Hey, this is Colin. I'm at ground zero, the very beginning.
Ground
Never
zero.
traded, never studied.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay, who else we got? I think everybody answered. Yeah, I think that was everybody. Okay, cool. So I've been trading stocks. I made my first stock trade in the 7th grade. I bought Nintendo, and I'm actually still holding that stock to this day. I've been trading Forex, day trading Forex for 6 months, and I'm catching my stride now. I've been around million dollar traders and catching mentorship and leaning on them and standing on their shoulders so I can reach new heights faster rather than punching in the dark. I started out on my birthday like as a present to myself. I wanted to take it seriously, and since then, June 1st, we're coming up on 6 months now, and it starts out rocky. I made a lot of money my first week trading, and I'm not going to get too much into that right now, but as you get to know me over, if you keep tapping into these calls, you'll get to know more of my trading journey. But I've learned some strategies over the past few weeks that have completely radicalized my trading journey that I'm going to be teaching you all right here on this call right now. So if you've not been trading at all or anything like that, have you been looking at any pairs potentially to trade or anything like that? I see.
No.
What did you say, Latifa?
I said, no, not yet.
Not yet.
So-
Nobody.
I selected the ones that I wanted to follow, but that's
Okay,
it.
that's fine. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go ahead and find some random pair to break down and mark up live style. Okay, I've already marked this one up. So let me go to a different pair. And okay, so what we're about to do is something called top-down analysis. Okay, and what that's allowed, this is, well, first off, this is a a graph, a candlestick chart, and these are candlesticks. Each one of these little bars that you see are candlesticks. They're called candlesticks, and there's different patterns that you will be studying in a book called the Candlestick Bible, which is a part of pretty much every trader's handbook guide. When you start to trading, it lets you know about what's going on in the market in certain points. But what we're going to be doing right now is marking up support and resistance. And what support and resistance are the points where you see price keeps tapping from, price is tapping from, price is tapping from, but also price is becoming like a ceiling, right? Price is tapping from it, price is tapping from it, price is tapping from it. And you could even maybe say that price is like bouncing off of it right here, right? So we're on the weekly chart right now. You see that? So that means each one of these bars is a full week, 7 days. All right. So this is a massive amount of data. You see, this goes from pretty much right now all the way back to 2013. Okay. So these areas that we're going to be marking up are very strong areas of support and resistance. All right. Especially where we see the support, which means the price is bouncing down and up off of it. That's support, but also where it's acting as resistance where it's acting as a ceiling and price is bouncing back down and it can't break that. All right. So I'm going to mark strong areas of support and resistance close to price. So you see how price is bouncing here. It's kind of bouncing here, but it also acts as a ceiling here and it's bouncing. Is everybody with me? As you go back. So we just marked that up. But if we go back in time, you see how it's still acting as like a point of resistance and support, right? We just marked that up. But as you go back, you see that it's still playing that role, right? We're back in 1994, and I guess that's as long as the trading view is going to load. But so with that being said, when you mark up your charts, the first time you mark it up, you really don't have to mark it up for a long time once you do top-down analysis, you know, unless some crazy political event happens like Corona, which will have the markets moving insane. Like you see this move right here. This is what happens with coronavirus. It just took a dive. All right, so back to top-down analysis. So this line, this is where price currently is right here. So like I said, we're gonna mark up the areas of support and resistance that are closest to price that are gonna act as the zones that we're trading to. So that means like the areas where you're taking profit or entering trades potentially. Okay, so now I have the weekly marked up. These are pretty wide areas. I can even mark up one more zone up, and I will. Okay, one more zone down. Somebody just hopped in the room. Welcome, Tyson. We were just doing some top-down analysis. I don't know if you can hear me yet. I'm gonna take a moment to pause. So Tyson, can you hear me? You can unmute yourself real quick. I'm gonna.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank
Okay,
you.
hey, welcome. Welcome.
Thank
Thank you for hopping on the
Thank you,
Zoom.
sir. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Anytime, anytime. So where are you in your Forex journey?
I'm a beginner.
Okay.
I'm learning the different flags and learn some pips, understanding the pips, knowing where to entry. Um, I just, I'm gradually grasping the information. So the more I continue to watch and learn, I'm pulling everything under my belt.
Okay.
If it makes any sense, what I'm saying.
Understood. So have you actually started making trades yet? Are you just learning like the terminology and really like trying to get your bearings right now?
No, I've made trades earlier in the year. I slowed down on it because I wanted to learn more fundamentals.
Understood. Okay.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. So right now we're learning fundamentals. We're learning the basics of trading, and then we're going to get into some advanced strategies that we're using to pull money out of the markets right now.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
No
And
problem. Thank you for being here.
I also have invited others in my group to the platform today.
Okay, awesome. The more the
Okay.
merrier. Okay,
Awesome.
so this is top-down analysis. What it allows you to do is to find the directional bias of price, like what's going on currently, and find your entries and your entry and exit zones, stop losses, and take profits. And I'm marking up the charts right now. It's just on the weekly. I just got into it, so perfect timing. Okay, so after we've marked up the weekly, I go down to the daily to get more precise with my markings. And I'll just change the color or change it from dash. Got another joiner, Calfani. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome. We're doing some top-down analysis training. And after we do that, we're going to get into some entry and exit strategies that we're using right now. And what I'm doing right now, if you can hear me, is marking up areas of support and resistance that I see on the daily, on the weekly, and on the 4-hour to act as my areas that I'm looking that I'm going to be looking for trades at. Okay, so that should be good. Price isn't that high yet. So go down to the 4-hour. So now each one of these bars is 4 hours. Okay. And I'm going to do one more markup. Change the color, I guess, to make sure that I know that it's a separate layer. Okay, so each one of these candles is now 4 hours. Okay, so that's 4 hours of time, and I'm still marking up the areas of support and resistance that I see closest to price. Okay, so once you have your zones marked up, this is when you start to hunt for your trades. Okay, and what I mean by that is we're looking for our entry zones or our exit zones if we're already in a trade. All right, so tell me, anybody, let me see who's in here right now. Okay, Tyson, you said that you have made some trades, so I'm going to put you on the spot for a second and ask you, how do you look for your entries when you're trading?
At this point, we got to know the price of right now. And then I always look at what I guess they call it the resistance. And so if for me, I always, for some reason, use the resistance as my entry point.
Okay.
Okay. And so if it hits down to resistance and it, is starting to move up, then I'll jump in a little bit right in that point before it goes to the and put my stop loss at usually like right before it gets to the I'm like so horrible with terminology because
It's
I'm
fine.
a
It
visual
sounds like you're
person.
doing good right now.
Okay.
Keep it rolling.
So the resistance and the what is my top number? I always forget the top.
Support and resistance.
Support, exactly. Yep. So I leave that space in there as my point of bid. So that bid is where I would create my bid within those two frames.
Okay. So you're trading from like support to resistance or resistance to support.
Partially because I want to stay in between them. I don't go.
You don't go all the way to them.
No.
You're hopping out before it even gets to support or resistance.
Yes, so I can kind of stay in the middle.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Very good. Very good. So you don't look for any kind of candlestick confirmations or anything like that, or retest or anything.
Well, of course, candles. I'm sorry, I'm probably not a good person right now.
No, you're perfect because you've been trading. So, we're going to get to know each other and I can best help you if I know where you're at.
Okay. So, I do look for movement within the candlesticks as far as the I'm using the 1 hour and 1 minute.
Okay. You're using the
I'm
1
sorry.
hour and the 1 minute. All right, cool.
Okay.
we're gonna go to the 1 hour right here.
Okay.
I'm on the 1 hour right now, okay? And we're
Okay.
gonna do a little exercise and we're gonna hunt for some trades on the 1 hour chart.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So do you have a pair that you normally trade, or did you have a pair that you were trading when you first started, or a pair that you frequently trade?
Oh my goodness. He's here. I apologize.
You're fine. So is there a pair that you normally trade?
I apologize. I have a 3-year-old and 2-year-old fighting each other.
It's okay. You go ahead and take care of that. I'm gonna I guess roll with AUDCAD. And what I'm doing right now for everybody watching, I'm using the replay button, which is a tool that allows me to go back in time on any currency pair or whatever instrument I'm trading and replay where it is from any space that I want to. So you can basically, like I said at the beginning, back test your strategies so you really can get your confidence, your trading confidence up. And I'm gonna let Tamara talk about the mentality that you need to have while trading, because trading is very, very psychology intensive. Okay. Can everybody still see my screen about this disclaimer?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Sounds
Tomorrow.
good. Yep. All right. Okay, guys. So, like I said, I've been trading with seeing good results for almost 2 years coming in the next year. Um, and it took a lot of consistency and discipline to see those good results. And I'm just gonna talk about the mindset that every trader should have. So basically, let me first off by saying, growing up, well, as a kid, I grew up in a fairly strict home, knowing what's right and what's wrong, and fairly understanding what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. And now that I'm older, in my adult years, I come to see how important it is to set rules in your in a home. You set strict rules to follow, and as a trader, you should be doing the same thing. Setting strict rules with yourself, and any trader that wants to make it in the long run, guys, you must have a strict set of rules and make sure we stick to those rules, because what good are rules if we're not if we're breaking them? What good are the rules? Uh, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything more worse personally in the markets taking a loss um, that could possibly wipe you out for days, weeks, or even months of trading. And it's the financial part of the loss that hurts most, but really it's the mental of emotion part that hurts just as bad. Because if you're not trading with a free and clear mindset, guys, then it could be very mentally dispiriting, and it could really be hard to get your mind back on the right track in trading. um, that's why it's important to stick to your rules, because a lot of traders, they come about, how can I put this? They get caught up in a vicious cycle. Once they start losing their trades, they don't know how to overcome or how to get themselves out of that losing cycle. So I realize as a trader, it's important to hold myself accountable for my actions. Um, One of the benefits as a trader, guys, is we're our own boss. We're working from home. Nobody's here to tell us what to do, or when to do it. But on the flip side, nobody's really holding us accountable. And I don't want to say, because in Epic, and with you all on the call. Me and Jeffrey, we're here as part as every other upline mentor that you may have. We're all here to help you as far as learning the strategy. But that's where this disclaimer comes in. Everybody has their own level of abundance. What I may be pushing to make a week, somebody may just want to make in a year. So one thing that I learned in high school that I stick to me is keep your eyes on your own paper. Pretty much, guys, your results, you don't want to focus on somebody else's results, because that's going to come in contact of you seeing your own results. You know, a lot of people focus on this they see how powerful this skill is, and they're so focused on all the money, I'm gonna make this much money, but they're not really grasping how the skill actually works. And that's what it's all about. If you're not good with this skill, if you don't understand this skill completely, you can really lose a lot of money. You can make a lot of money in a quick second, but you can also lose a lot of money in a quick second. And it's all about wins. They're great. We celebrate small wins, big wins, they're great. But are you really how about focusing on the losses and how we can better ourselves from the losses, guys? So one thing I would recommend, stick to 1 to 3 pairs. Don't overwhelm yourself. Back test, like Jeffrey had mentioned, back testing helps a lot. Just go over your daily affirmations and yeah, focus on your own results, like I said, guys, and it'll take you really far in the long run.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna let Jeffrey have it back.
All right, cool. Appreciate you, Tomorrow. So definitely trading is a mental game. It's really you and the charts at the end of the day. You know, you might have heard about signals and all that type of stuff, but really what I found in my own personal journey is, and not just mine, when I hear from other people, you know, when you can take signals, but it starts out, you'll take signals, but as soon as you get a losing signal, you know, you start to lose confidence in the signals that you're getting. And you know, a signal caller only has a few signals before you start to get to reluctant to take their signals, right? And you start to lose money from somebody's signals. You don't want to take their signals. They're like, oh dang, like I've lost money. You get scared to pull the trigger, and then you still see them winning trades. So you're like, dang, like maybe it's this one, and then it's always the losing one that you're picking, right? It's like a vicious cycle. Like Tomorrow was saying, like if your mental isn't right, you're just gonna keep on losing and losing because you're doing the wrong things. Like if you're trading emotionally, chances are you're getting in a trade too early or too late, right? This game is all about emotions. Like the way that the charts look, it's meant to confuse you, totally meant to confuse you. Like the way that all this stuff looks and the way the market moves is completely meant to make you want to cry and kick and scream and do all the types of things because it's a game of capitalism. Like you're literally looking at different countries' currencies rise and fall, like different countries' economies rise and fall. Like it's a shark's market. All right. So we're going to teach you right now. We're going to teach you how to swim. All right. So we just marked up the chart and I'm about to do a little replay and I'm just going to go back in time and not really look and pick a spot. Okay. We're in January 2015 and we already have it marked up, and I'm going to assume because, you know, zones, they really kind of respect the areas that they were placed at, like even if you go way far back in the market. So this is already marked up and I'm going to show you how I enter my charts. Actually, Tyson, you said that you enter on the 1 hour chart. Is that correct?
Yeah, I use the 1 hour chart, but I also use the signals off of the 1 minute too.
Okay.
So the 1
Cool.
minute is letting me know where I'm at, and then you know, basically where to enter in, and then the 1 hour is what I use to come in on.
Okay, cool. So I use this a strategy called divergence. All right. And it includes an oscillator, one of three oscillators, the Bollinger Bands, the MACD, or the RSI, the relative strength index. And I use the relative strength index to find the divergence. And what divergence means, I'll find a very good instance of it in a second. I already see divergence happening on here that I could show you, but it's when the oscillator, either the MACD, the Bollinger Bands, or the RSI are making opposite like price action movement. So if the price is making higher highs, like you see this is in an uptrend, right? Higher highs and lower lows, right? You see it's making higher highs, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low. Well, little break of market structure here, lower high, lower low, but then it switches back into the uptrend, right? Higher high, higher, lower high, higher high, lower high, and it's going up. All right, you see how that's happening? But if you look on the RSI, we see, so you see it's making higher, so it's, you see the RSI down here, right? It's making higher highs and lower highs, right? Higher highs and lower highs. But when it gets to this point right here, so I'm gonna make a vertical line at the divergence that I'm looking at, that I'm talking about. So right here to this candle, and if I connect the wicks of these candles here, actually, let me just delete this so y'all can see it. So the wick of this candle here to this candle here. So from point to like retracement point to retracement point, and then at the same instance on the RSI, retracement point to retracement point, you see that the trend line on the price action and the trend line on the oscillator are going in opposite directions, right? So when it gets to this retracement point, so we get one touch here, you could even extend this out. It's going low. So it's giving us indications. When Tyson said she waits for the price to touch or support or resistance, or get close to a support or resistance, and I was trying to get her to say something else, but what I was trying to get her to say was looking for the retest, right? What that's called is retesting support or resistance, and you get in at that point because it's a way to predict when price is about to pivot, right? Go in the opposite direction. Okay. So when it got to this point of divergence, you see that the market just took off, right? So whenever I see points of divergence like this, I'm going to be looking for trades. All right. And it's all depending on which way the market's going. So there's 4 different types of divergence, and I'm going to show you how to find these types of divergence. So you also go to Trading View, and in the search bar, educational ideas and types of divergence when you search. Okay. So here are the types of divergence, and there are 2 reversal patterns of divergence and 2 continuation patterns of divergence. All right. And so what I'm seeing in this, this bar is in the way. 1 second, y'all. So what I was seeing in this is a continuation pattern. Pull this out. So you see how the price is in an uptrend, right? You see the uptrend. If I go from here to here, the price is in an uptrend, right? Right? It's in an uptrend. So price is in an uptrend. You see how we can connect the bottoms on price action. So we connected the bottoms on price action. And then what happens on the oscillator? We connect the bottoms, right? And so we would be looking for the push up. And when that happens, price pushed up. So we're going to look for that in real time right now. We're not going to go back. We're just going to look for it happening in the market. All right. And let me see. Everybody, let me see. Go ahead and unmute yourselves. I'm going to see if we all understand this right now. Everybody, are you with me? Are we still good?
We're here.
You're
All
still
right.
good.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So I'm going to play this and we can look for divergence together. And if I spot a divergence, I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to do a little back testing with you on strategy. Okay. So we're going to like basically enter mock trades with divergence as the strategy that we're using. Okay. And so of course, each one of these candles, like tomorrow says, trading is 80% waiting, okay? 10% trading and 10% trading plan, right? So each one of these candles that we're watching will be an hour, all right? So, you know, it's like watching paint dry, essentially. So I feel like I kind of see a divergence occurring right here. It's slight, but I've kind of noticed like even slight divergences, they can be the signifying factor for you to go ahead and get into a trade. Right? You see how this is slightly it's slightly going down, right? You know, see that? But we could wait for another candle confirmation to go ahead and get into this trade. Let's see, because it is actually, so we drew up support and resistance earlier, right? This is a way to get another point of confluence, right? So you see it has broken through support, or it broke through resistance here, and it could be retesting, right? But it's also in the overbought zone. So it could mean that the buyer steam is running out, and it could be about to head into another direction, right? Because we have been in a little uptrend, you know, for a few days. Could be about time for a reversal to happen. It's at a strong weekly resistance point, right? So let's see what happens next. We'll play it. Okay, so y'all see how this is continuing right here? This divergence is continuing. Right? And all we're looking for is a signifying pattern of bearish, of like a bearish reversal pattern, pretty much. And that's where your candlestick Bible is going to come into play. Okay, so this is an engulfing candle right here. We could enter the trade here. Okay, so we're on the hour chart. So I gotta zoom out. So with this trading style, my mentor pretty much says just to put the stop loss like at the wick. If I could get this out, hold on one second. The wick of the divergence that you see. So it'll be the wick of the last candle. Doesn't want me to pull it up for some reason. Okay. Okay. So a 15 pip stop loss. Okay. And you're going for the low of the divergence. Okay. So about right here, the low or the high of the divergence. So you see on this line between this line and this line, this is about the lowest point. This candle here. So the divergence is supposed to clear the lowest point of where the divergence started. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna let this play. All right, we're gonna see if this trade runs out. Look at that. Went smack to our TP. Y'all see that? No drawdown, zero drawdown. And what you do when a trade is running like this, if you want to maximize your trades, all right, when your trade is approaching your TP, all right, you want to move your trade to break even or into profit, okay? And we know where our next zone is because we marked it up, all right? So we can go to our next zone, all right? So, boom, let's play it out. All right, so that trade would have given us 81 pips. If you would have been trailing your stop, right? So you see that entry? How long do you all normally hold your trades? Well, I guess you're all beginners. You don't really normally hold your trades that long at all, right?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, that's fine. So if you were trading on the smallest lot that you could possibly trade with, right? That one that 15 pip stop loss that we had on here, right? Y'all saw how that went all the way down to, let's see. So if you didn't move your stop loss up, let's see what would have happened if it would have still smacked. Yeah, so, and also I see another divergence occurring. So this gave out 81 pips, which would be $8 on the smallest lot size that you could have, right? And it went straight to that TP with almost no drawdown, right? So that's what we call like a sniper entry. So I see another divergence occurring right here, right? So you see this is going up right here. This is going down right here. It's not necessarily in the zone, like the oversold zone that I'm looking for. So what I always do, I like to keep the divergence chart handy close to me so I can refer to it and always look and double check to make sure my divergence analysis is correct, right? So it's in a downtrend, right? Or it could be in an uptrend. It could be back in an uptrend, right? So it's at the top. This is at the top. We're connecting the tops. So we could be looking for another sell right now, all right? But we're going to play it out. All right, so, you know, the divergence occurred. I could be looking for the sell right now. I'm going to go ahead and enter another sell. And where do we put that? Where do we put our stop loss, y'all? Y'all remember where I said we put the stop loss on when after we see the divergence occurring?
Is it the lowest edge? The
So
lowest?
it's
Oh, it's
the wick, the wick of the
the
divergence,
wick. Okay.
right? So you see how I'm gonna zoom in. So you see we enter the trade on this candle right here, right? This one. But we're putting our stop loss at the top of the last wick, right? So this has super tight stop losses. All right. So we're going to see, and our target is going to be the divergence, the lowest point of the divergence, the lowest or highest point of the divergence. So you see from this line to this line, we're in a sell. You see how this point down here is where the divergence like last went to, the lowest point. So that's going to be our target again. All right. So this is a almost 1 to 10 risk to reward. And Forex is a game of risk management. All right. So you always want your risk to be less than your reward. All right. So you always want to be making more money than you're risking. Right. It's a game of probability. So let's see how this trade plays out. All right. So it hit our stop loss. All right. But this is what you do. Right? So just because a trade has an 84 pip stop loss or 84 pip take profit, you don't have to wait to see if your trade hits your take profit. All right. So you see our stop loss is 9.6. Okay. When our trade runs to 20 pips, 20 or 30 pips, so this is 20 pips right here, you move your trade. You do one of four things. All right. You take partials on your trade. which means if you have a bigger than a 0.01 lot size, you can actually close like different lots on your trade. You don't actually have to close your entire trade out. You can take some money off the table and keep letting your trade run, right? Or you can move your stop loss up. You don't have to move it into profits, but if you want to risk less, you can move your stop loss up. Move your stop loss to break even, meaning you're risking nothing anymore, or move your stop loss into profits, meaning you're going to gain some profits even if your trade runs back to your stop loss. All right. So one of four things. So as soon as the trade got to 20 pips, right? So this actually ran, let me see, 27 pips before it actually hit the stop loss, right? So with that, you know, you could have definitely ate off that. 20 or 30 pips is really all you need. If you're consistently getting 20 or 30 pips, the power of compound interest is going to be in your favor, right? It's going to add up. If you're constantly taking profits on your trades, there's no way that you're going to be a losing trader. Okay, so let's keep it rolling. But do y'all see how we marked this up way in the beginning, right? We didn't even mark this area up, right? But do you see how this is bouncing off of this area way back in 2015 still? Do y'all see that? How it's respecting those zones that we drew up. So I see another divergence here. But not every divergence means that something is happening. But the risk to reward is so high, or so low risk, high reward, that if you see a divergence occurring, you know, I've just been taking the shot, because you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You see that right there, right? If you would have taken the divergence, okay, went straight to TP. And so the next zone that we would be going for would be this zone down here, the last divergence. Okay, this could be the big drop, the big kahuna, I think the term is. So it still hasn't hit our stop loss yet. But once it hit that divergence, you see how it almost never came back to that point for hours, for days. Still hasn't hit the stop loss, but we would have moved it up. But this is where patience comes into play. You see, that almost just went the full 100 pips, but it didn't quite hit the TP. We're gonna see if it's actually gonna hit it and be a smooth, clean trade. It's playing with it. So Tyson, what you were saying about taking your profits right before the support and resistance, this is where your strategy would you see how this applying this entry strategy to your trading plan could go ahead and allow you to get your entries and exit zones correct.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow along with you. It's slowly coming together for me over here.
Good. That's what I like to hear. So you would have been holding this trade for almost 24 hours, but it almost hit this zone down here. And I want to show you all something. All right. So I didn't see this divergence occurring right here. Right. So I want to go down to this zone. This was almost it was a 1 to 13 trade. So risking $1 to gain $13, essentially. Okay. And if we zoom in here, this is going down, this is going down, this is going up. Okay. So this is a long divergence that we're seeing occur here. So you see how the divergence is occurring on the price action, price is going up, but on the oscillator, we had to zoom out a little bit, price is going down. So when price is getting down here and we see this occurring, when we see the divergence occurring in the opposite direction, so you see the divergence that we got in on was top to top, right? Top of price action to top of oscillator. The divergence indicator that we used to get out was bottom of price action, bottom of oscillator. Do you see that? And then also see another divergence occurring. Does anybody else see that divergence occurring? Or is it just me? Do I just see divergences occurring everywhere?
I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
So these points in the market, they're everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Once you get comfortable with seeing divergence, you'll just see it. Like it'll just come to you. You won't even have to look for it. Literally, you'll just see it.
All right, so we're gonna enter another trade. This stop is a little bit wider because there's like a little bit of wicking going on, but it could be a push to the upside. This is a giant. So one thing about candlestick patterns, let me see. One thing about candlestick patterns, excuse me, 1 second. Gotta get back to the right window. Candlestick patterns. All right. So this giant black candle right here, this would be called a bullish engulfing candle. Normally it would be like a green candle, but I have my candles custom color. And this candle is like swallowing like all this past price action. right? So that means there's bullish, meaning upward momentum. Okay. So I could be, you know, on the wrong side of this trade right now. But the thing is, like, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, right? It could go up to this stop loss, but this would be risking about $3 on the lowest trade size that you could enter, right? So the low, and we're aiming for the low of this divergence, right? So it would be down here. Let's see if we can get 100 pips or $10. 1 to 5 or 1 to 3 risk to reward. All right. So let's see. Let's play. Let's run it. Yeah. So that was bullish pressure. It went straight to the stop loss. What I was talking about at the beginning was completely, the original analysis was completely correct. So we're going to keep going, keep running it. And like I said, so no plan or no trading strategy is bulletproof, right? So even with that one loss of $3, right? So this trade right here would have run to $10, right? This trade would have run to $8. So you would have been up $15 after 2 trades, with a total loss of, well, with the loss already factored in, right? So, 18 minus $2.90, right? So let's see, let's keep running it. See what else we can see. Wow. So that candle just looked like it was about to drop off the face of the earth. So trading is a lot like watching paint dry. Don't just hop on the charts and start entering trades. You see how we haven't, like, each of these candles is an hour, right? So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days, 5 days of trading. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Kind of overlapping. It's getting me kind of confused. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 trades have been taken over the course of 3 days, right? Trading isn't like making a bunch of trades every single moment. Okay. You got to calculate. It's all about risk management. There's a thing called over trading. There's unlimited opportunities for you to make money in these markets, but there's also unlimited opportunities for you to lose money in these markets, right? So you have to discipline yourself enough to say, all right, I'm not going to take any more trades today. I'm going to sit on my hands. Or if you don't see your setups, don't force it, right? If I don't see divergence occurring, I'm not going to take a trade. And that's it, right? So keep it playing. Find one more instance of divergence. I'm actually going to clear this chart so we can see. So I see a little divergence occurring right here. Even if you just put your cursor over like where the candle is, you see how this candle's a little bit higher? The wick of that candle is just a little bit higher. Let's see, wick to wick. And point to point. All right, so I'm going to play this and see what happens on the next candle, because you don't enter on the point you see the divergence occurring. You want to make sure that it's actually a divergence. All right, so we would have entered when we, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't pause it, but when we would have entered on this candle, and a stop of 87 cents, 92 cents, and headed for, so this is the zone, that was 59 pips right there. But this is the bottom of the divergence, right? So we're always aiming for the lowest point of the divergence. So I think that hit the stop loss, but according to Tyson's strategy, they would have taken that before it got to our zone, right? According to the 20 pips or 20 to 30 pips to move your stop loss, moving into break even, because it's all about risk management, right? I keep saying that because it's the most important thing when trading, right? Protect the capital. This is about longevity, building your account slowly but surely, and just protecting your investment. Really, like this isn't about gambling, right? It's about probability. Okay. So with that, I said we're gonna find one more divergence. We found it. We got about $6 out of it. So out of about, I think it was like 5 trades that we took, if we would have managed the trades correctly, followed the move your stop loss to break even, you know, we wouldn't have lost any money while we were trading, right? It would have been gains. Okay. So with that, I'm going to open the floor up for questions, for comments, concerns. But everybody, go ahead, turn your cameras on, unmute yourselves. Go ahead, get some water if you need it, because I'm going to do the same. I need some water right now, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'll take over from until he comes back with his water. That's the breakdown and the strategy of divergence. So unmute yourself, pull your cameras up if you can.
So divergent is knowing when I like is there any way you can pull back up the screen or no?
Absolutely. Yeah. I got you. I'm going to pull up the actual divergence. Okay, so you can see my divergence screen right now?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I got it. Okay, I got it now, because the best one for me is the bearish. That's the one I know that we normally see a lot of. And then now I get why, the bullish. So I was kind of explained a little bit differently on how to measure your point in the basically know your market. So since I've learned this little technique, I'm kind of like trying to use that same technique along with what you were talking about, so that now I know a little bit more, because I was trying to figure out, okay, so how would I know the diversion? But I get it with the bearish one. That's the one we were just using. in the last trade.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It was a regular bearish divergence.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go back. I'm going to share my other screen. Or can you still see my screen right now with the chart on it?
No.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, so the last trade that we took, you can see my screen now. The chart?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you see how the top of this, we connected the top right here, the top to the top, and the top to the top. So I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay, you see, we connected the top to the top. So that's a regular bearish divergence. Did you catch that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. And so you can access this cheat sheet for free. You just go to tradingview.com and you type in on the ticker. Let me show you how to do this one more time. So you type in on educational ideas, divergence, okay? And you scroll down, there's a picture that's green, red, white, blue types of divergence. And this is your cheat sheet. Print it out, use it, staple it next to your trading area, put it in the front of your notebook, study it. Divergence will help you to enter the market like a boss stepping into the building, right? Straight money. Okay. What other questions do you all have?
We don't really know too much to ask right now. I think mainly we just trying to grasp everything and put it into, all of what we are learning. So that was great. That was a great presentation though. This was great.
Awesome.
It
Uh,
was, yeah,
I'm
very
gonna
interesting.
definitely agree with, I don't know enough to ask, but thank you very much.
Awesome. I'm glad that you all found value in this. We do this 3 times a week with our team. So how many of you did you say you were in Epic? How many of you said you were in Epic?
We're all in.
All it, yeah.
All in Epic. Okay, cool. That's dope. So come through.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do some training. We'll definitely can do some training. Bring your friends. If you got people who want to sign on to Epic and you want to bring them through, we can discuss that as well because we do train and this is what we are about at Epic, right? Exceptional people, incredible compensation, reach one, teach one. If we teach you and you're successful, it's just another success story, another testimony. And we're gonna keep things building. Like this is what it's all about. Like we're here to see you win, here to be successful. We don't have to do this for anybody, but we choose to because this is the lifestyle that we have chosen. We see the potential and we see the results and we see the changes that it brings forth in ourselves. So this is why we're spreading it to others, right? It's like it's a freedom finder, right? One of my mentors told me, you don't want to lose yourself in trading. You want trading to magnify who you are and what you're doing, your passions, right? Trading can make you infinite amounts of money, right? But only if you respect the path, respect the journey, respect yourself as you're learning, right? Because you can easily beat yourself up while you're going through this. You can easily allow everything like losing capital or over leveraging your account or blowing your account or whatever. It can really take a toll on your mind, on your pocket, even, worst of all, your pocket, right? That's lessons that'll humble you real quick, learning or losing like $250 in like 10 minutes trading, right? That's a lesson that can humble you, right? So study, show up, dedicate yourself, because it is a journey. It is something that you have to learn. It's not as easy as riding a bike, right? But it can definitely put more money in your pocket than riding a bike, unless you're like the professional Olympic person or whatever, but you know, anomaly. All right. So with
Question.
that,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
You said 3 times a week. What 3 days a week, please? Is it the same link first? Is it the same
Yeah,
link?
so it's the same link. It's the same link. 3 times a week, same time, and Monday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay, wait. Tuesday, Wednesday. And then what's the actual start times? I think I was late. Is it 7 Central?
It's
Well, just
8
tell me Eastern.
Central. So we're on Eastern. So I think Central is 1 hour behind.
Right, it's 8 o'clock for me.
So yeah, I think it's 9 o'clock,
Yes.
9:15, 9:16. So you're like 1 hour behind.
So it actually starts at 8 p.m.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time, but 7 p.m. your time.
8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thank you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
get your teams on here. Bring everybody you can on here. We're literally here to help as many people as we can get on these calls. So
Definitely,
Tuesday through Thursday, 8 p.m.
definitely.
Eastern.
And if you
Same link
can,
in it.
definitely. Have you all tapped into the syllabus, the 2-week syllabus yet for Epic?
No.
Okay,
I-
so let
We're
me. I'm
go
gonna go
through.
ahead and actually, I'm gonna send you this. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat for you all for like a quick start video that a team that I'm a part of, they made a video on YouTube that is pretty much just gonna get you jump started if you haven't already started. All right, so oh, it said somebody's in the waiting room. Who said that? Is somebody still in the waiting room? Did I miss somebody? Did I leave somebody out?
No, I think that was me earlier. I was in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I'm sorry. I was feeling bad. Oh, and I just sent that to Tyson in private message. Here you go. YouTube, everybody. So this is the Lion's Den quick start video. It's the upline that I'm a part of, like super just crazy builders, crazy people who just go above and beyond the Call of Duty when it comes to building these types of organizations up and providing the infrastructure necessary to make it a success. So I dropped the link in the chat. Make sure you guys copy that, save it to Microsoft Word or wherever, bookmark it, whatever you do. But make sure you watch it. Make sure you go through the 2-week syllabus, print out your affirmations, because it is about mindset. Like the law of attraction is a real thing. I saw tomorrow make a post about the law of attraction today, and I don't even think we've ever spoken about it. Like, but I practice it all the time, and apparently tomorrow practices it as well. And we haven't spoken about it, but you know, it's a real common point in this world of Forex. Like you're gonna hear a lot about affirmations and manifesting and visualizing and all that, like seeing it already happen. And it might sound crazy to you right now. It might sound like some hoodoo, voodoo, whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, our ancestors were using this. Like we're connected to spirit, and spirit is real, right? I'm not gonna get too deep into that. I don't know what you practice, whatever you do, but spirit is real. There's a connecting spirit that drives everything, and we have an antenna inside of us that sends out a beacon every time we're thinking about thoughts. We're praying, meditating, whatever you call it. Like you're priming your existence for the things that you're thinking about. So you got to keep your thoughts tuned into the things that you want to be aligned to, right? So keep your thoughts pure, keep your mind right, keep your eyes on the prize, and hold on, because yeah, the ride's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be like a rocket ship, and we're gonna reach new heights faster than you could ever possibly imagine. All right. So I appreciate you all being here. You could have been
Thank
anywhere.
you. Thank you.
It's all love. It's all love. I
Thank you
really
so much.
appreciate.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Awesome.
It was wonderful.
Oh, we get claps though. That's amazing. Yes.
Thank you. This is great. Yeah.
Yes, it really is. So we appreciate you being here. Go ahead, like you said, spread the word. If you're in Epic, you have Epic team. You got friends and family that are trying to plug in. You're trying to build your team. Let's get it. Like, we're here. We've been trading for a long time, and we want literally to break everybody's financial curse. Like, we're all here. Like, you can, whatever you want to say. Like, we all want to make money, right? That's point blank period. We're trading Forex because we want to make money, right? We've been so pushed out of this world. Like, this hasn't been available to us, to our people, and it's available. Like, they can't stop the floodgates. Like, if you look at Forex, it's just been an upward spiral of people who look like us making lots and lots of money trading Forex. So with that being said, we're up next. It's our time. You're epic. Stay epic. Make today epic. Make tomorrow epic. Make your life epic. All right. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I see you. Peace, y'all.
Peace.